Hello everyone, Andy Breeding here. Etrian Odyssey held the crown for dungeon crawlers on handheld devices, specifically the Nintendo 3DS. Nothing's really come out to challenge this fact yet, and until now. Funny enough, it also comes from the same publishers, Atlus. Dungeon Travelers 2 is the game I'm talking about. Let's get into seeing what's fun and frustrating with Dungeon Travelers 2. The multiple layers of combat and skills in Dungeon Travelers 2 is staggering. Prioritizing what skills to invest in as well as finding the right mix for your party of 5 to fit your playstyle is a fun experiment. For instance, I liked having a bard for constant healing and replenishing skill points, an assassin for some quick attacks, a paladin to provoke and soak up damage, a berserker for just pure damage, and a sorceress for those big attack spells that we all know and love. Speaking of spells, you have to be careful when chanting to cast one of them. You can be interrupted from a heart attack before you finish chanting, so you'll have to cast it all over again. Don't worry though, you can do the same to your enemies. Finding equipment instead of buying it from a shop actually feels right in Dungeon Travelers 2. Hunting for treasure chests with random items, running back to the shop to identify the mysterious item that could be a crappy helm or a +6 katana scratches that itch for me. You can also run into a random shop owner in the dungeon and spend some hard-earned cash to buy unidentified items if you have the cash to spend. Even monsters can be used as equipment. By defeating 10 of the same monster, you can create a sealbook of that specific monster. Doing so will show the stats of said monster at any time you encounter it. Equipping a book on a character will also provide stat boost or decreases depending on the monster used in the sealbook. Knowledge truly is power. It's the little things that win me over, and Dungeon Travelers 2 does this with voice acting for just about everything. Every time there's words to read, a voice will accompany these words. Yeah, it's in Japanese, but again, the little things matter. Oh, and one last thing. You can save anywhere at any time. Yes, you heard me. Save anywhere at any time. Also, there's 99 save slots. Thank you so much. If you're into scantily clad young anime women, Dungeon Travelers 2 is definitely for you. Personally, I can do without all this fan service since the game stands on its own pretty well. And since the marketing is focused a lot on the scantily clad young anime women, it's a shame that they don't show off what actually is underneath of all that, which is a great dungeon crawling RPG. A lot of items are very vague on what they actually do in Dungeon Travelers 2. The only way to figure out what an item actually does is to use it. Most of the time, the item does nothing at all, and once used, you lose it. More clarity would have been nice when trying to figure out what I can actually sell and what I should actually store for later use. It's been a really long time since I've played my PlayStation Vita where I would play it, drain the battery, charge it, play it again, drain the battery, play it, like just all in one day. And Dungeon Travelers 2 has done that for me. Like, I've never ever played my Vita this much. It's been a really long time since I played my Vita this much. It's a great dungeon crawling RPG. As long as you can get past the fan servicey stuff, it's not a problem. Etrian Odyssey, you had your time at the top, but I think Dungeon Travelers 2 is coming for you. Everyone that has a Vita should give this game a chance. It's a great game, great dungeon crawling RPG, and you would be a fool to pass this game up. Thanks for watching as always, and I will see you next time. Later.